the stylist, I mean, the costume designer on Gossip Girl. But anyone who works with me
I love this.
it's like drinking through a fire hose. You're like, wow, I come in and I'm like, this is what we're gonna do. But it's just because I really, I find that fashion is storytelling. It's a way to message so much more than you can with words sometimes. It's a silent way to message things. So the way that I come into a character is always through the fashion and through the costumes. So
Saw in another interview you said that Ryan, actually, your husband Ryan Reynolds, wrote part of that rooftop scene. Is that true?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I would have to compare it to the original one, but that's 99% his. Yeah, he just added, I mean, Chrissy Hall wrote an incredible screenplay. It was, one of the reasons that I wanted to do this film. But also, there are natural tweaks and modifications that come in when the actor is hired and you're trying to infuse your own personality and your own authenticity. And it's like, women are people of multitudes. And, I think that it was important to me that it didn't just feel like someone's interpretation of like female gaze. Like it really was, this is what we like, this is what we listen to, this is what makes us feel these vibes. And we had an incredible music supervisor, Season Kent, and one of our editors, Shane Reed, who, fun fact, he was my editor on Taylor's music video that I directed. And I was obsessed with him. And I was like, this guy is amazing. And he never edited a movie before. He just finished Deadpool and Wolverine, and he came on and helped us with this one. And he has incredible taste in music. And we share the same composer as well from Deadpool and Wolverine. So there's a lot of sharing.
Blake Lively filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, accusing him of workplace discrimination, sexual harassment, and retaliation. These are serious allegations, and if proven true, they could have significant consequences for Baldoni. But Baldoni isn't backing down. He's firing back with his own claims, accusing Blake of defamation, extortion, emotional distress, and invasion of privacy. He alleges that Blake tried to take control of his film and that her accusations are entirely false. This isn't just a legal battle, it's a full-blown war between two Hollywood heavyweights. The stakes are high. Blake claims that Baldoni's actions have caused her severe emotional distress, including trauma, anxiety, and fear. She's painted a picture of someone whose life has been turned upside down, but Baldoni's defense is equally compelling. He argues that Blake's claims are exaggerated and that the backlash she's facing is a result of her own actions, not his. The question is, who's telling the truth? Just when the legal battles seem to be heating up, Blake and Ryan made a surprising move. They appeared on the 50th anniversary special, Saturday night, a primetime event watched by millions. This wasn't just a casual appearance, it was a high-profile moment that put them back in the spotlight. But what happened next would shock everyone. During a skit, Ryan Reynolds made a joke that directly referenced the ongoing lawsuit. When asked how things were going, he smirked and replied, "Why? What have you heard?" The audience laughed, but the implications were serious. Here was Ryan making light of a situation that Blake claims has caused her immense emotional pain. The timing couldn't have been worse. This moment has become a focal point in the case. Baldoni's legal team is likely to argue that Blake's participation in such a public event
Literally not done. So to be honest, what really happened is we were like, we're gonna show the movie, and the studio was like, no, you're gonna show 20 minutes. So we're like, no, we're gonna show the movie. And they're like, it's not done. And I was like, shoot. They're like, if everything's not perfect and it's not done, and what if we're gonna change things? I was like, we want it to go. I literally brought the movie with me on the airplane. Like I have like a folder with like a disc, like a hard drive.
Contradicts her claims of severe emotional distress. If she's truly suffering, why would she and Ryan choose to appear on a national stage and joke about the situation? It's a question that could sway the court's opinion. The lawsuit isn't the only thing that's put Blake under scrutiny. Her promotional activities for the film, It Ends With Us, have also sparked controversy. The film, based on Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel, deals with heavy themes like domestic violence. However, many fans felt that the marketing campaign downplayed these serious issues, instead presenting the film as a lighthearted romance. To make matters worse, Blake used the film's promotional interviews to plug her own ventures, including her alcohol brand and hair care line. This didn't sit well with the public, especially given the sensitive subject matter of the film. Critics pointed out the irony of promoting alcohol while discussing a film tied to domestic violence, where substance abuse often plays a role. Baldoni's team has seized on this, arguing that Blake's actions contributed to the negative public perception she's now facing. They claim that the promotional strategy was handled by Blake and Ryan's own company, which contradicts Blake's assertion that she was simply following Sony's marketing plan. If true, this could completely change the narrative of the case. At the heart of this lawsuit is a power struggle. Baldoni alleges that Blake and Ryan used their influence in Hollywood to intimidate him and seize control of his film. He claims that they leveraged their connections to push him out of the project, and that Blake's accusations are part of a calculated smear campaign. Blake, on the other hand, insists that she's the victim. She claims that Baldoni launched a campaign to discredit her, leading to a wave of backlash that has damaged her reputation and career. But the optics of her recent actions, like the SNL appearance, make it hard to believe that she's as powerless as she claims. This case isn't just about who's right or wrong. It's about the dynamics of power in Hollywood and how far people are willing to go to protect their interests. With both sides refusing to back down, the outcome of this lawsuit could have far-reaching implications for the industry. Blake's claims of emotional distress are central to her case. She's described her experience as overwhelming, citing grief, trauma, and anxiety as a result of Baldoni's alleged actions. But her recent behavior has raised questions about the validity of these claims. If someone is truly suffering from severe emotional distress, would they be able to walk a red carpet, laugh at jokes, and mingle with Hollywood's elite? That's the question Baldoni's legal team is likely to ask. They'll argue that Blake's actions don't align with her claims, and that could weaken her case significantly. On the other hand, Blake maintains that her distress is real and that she's been unfairly targeted. She's painted a picture of someone who's been pushed to the brink, but the public's perception of her recent actions might make it hard for her to convince the court. As the case unfolds, all eyes are on Blake and Ryan. Their recent missteps have only added fuel to the fire, and Baldoni's legal team is likely to use every opportunity to strengthen their defense. The question is, can Blake prove that her emotional distress is genuine, or will her actions on the public stage undermine her case? But that's not the whole story. There's more to this legal battle than meets the eye, and what happens next could change everything. Now, let's talk about the evidence that could turn this case on its head. In this case, one of the most critical pieces of evidence is the promotional strategy for It Ends With Us. Baldoni's team claims they have proof that Blake and Ryan's company, not Sony, was behind the controversial marketing campaign. If true, this would completely undermine Blake's argument that she was simply following studio orders. This revelation isn't just a minor detail. It's a bombshell that could redefine the entire narrative of the lawsuit. But how did we get here? And what does this mean for both sides? Let's break it down. One of the most critical pieces of evidence in this case is the promotional strategy for It Ends With Us *. Baldoni's team claims they have proof that Blake and Ryan's company, not Sony, was behind the controversial marketing campaign. If true, this would completely undermine Blake's argument that she was simply following studio orders. The receipts reportedly show that Blake had significant control over how the film was marketed, including the decision to promote her alcohol brand and hair care line during interviews. This contradicts her claim that she was merely following Sony's plan. Baldoni's legal team is likely to argue that Blake's actions were self-serving and contributed to the public backlash she's now facing. This evidence could be a game changer. If the court finds that Blake's own decisions played a role in the negative publicity, it could weaken her claims of emotional distress and retaliation. It's a risky move for Baldoni's team, but if they can prove their case, it could shift the narrative in their favor. Public opinion has been a significant factor in this case. From the start, fans of Colleen Hoover's book were vocal about their disappointment with the film's marketing. They felt that the serious themes of domestic violence were being overshadowed by Blake's personal branding efforts. This backlash only intensified when Blake continued to promote her ventures during interviews meant to focus on the film. Baldoni's team has argued that much of the negative attention Blake has received is organic, meaning it came from the public, not from any targeted campaign by Baldoni. If they can prove this, it could undermine Blake's claims of defamation and retaliation. After all, the court can't hold Baldoni responsible for public opinion, especially if Blake's own actions contributed to the backlash. But Blake isn't backing down. She maintains that Baldoni orchestrated a smear campaign against her, using his connections in Hollywood to discredit her and damage her reputation. The question is, can she prove it? Without concrete evidence, her claims may not hold up in court. Ryan Reynolds isn't just a bystander in this legal battle, he's directly involved. Baldoni has named him in the lawsuit, alleging that he used his influence to intimidate and pressure Baldoni during the production of It Ends With Us. Ryan's recent behavior, including his joke on SNL, has only added fuel to the fire. During the SNL skit, Ryan's quip, "Why, what have you heard?" was seen as a direct reference to the lawsuit. While the audience laughed, the implications were serious. Here was Ryan, making light of a situation that Blake claims has caused her immense emotional pain. Baldoni's legal team is likely to argue that this behavior undermines Blake's claims of distress. But Ryan's involvement goes beyond the SNL appearance. Baldoni claims that Ryan used his Hollywood connections to push him out of the project, and that he played a key role in the alleged smear campaign. If Baldoni can prove this, it could strengthen his case and weaken Blake's position. Blake and Ryan's appearance on SNL has become a focal point in the case. Baldoni's legal team is likely to argue that their participation in such a high-profile event contradicts Blake's claims of severe emotional distress. If she's truly suffering, why would she willingly put herself in the spotlight and laugh along as her husband turned the controversy into a joke? The optics of the situation are undeniably bad for Blake. She's claiming that her life has been turned upside down by Baldoni's actions, yet she's still moving in Hollywood's most exclusive circles, mingling with A-listers like Steven Spielberg and Kevin Costner. This inconsistency could hurt her case, especially if Baldoni's team can prove that her actions don't align with her claims. But Blake's team has a different perspective. They argue that her appearance on SNL was a professional obligation, and that she shouldn't be penalized for continuing to work despite her personal struggles. The question is, will the court see it that way? Both sides are pulling out all the stops to win this case. Baldoni's legal team is focusing on credibility, arguing that Blake's claims are exaggerated and that her own actions contributed to the backlash she's facing. They're also emphasizing the power imbalance, portraying Baldoni as the underdog fighting against Hollywood's elite. Blake's team, on the other hand, is painting a picture of a woman who's been wronged and is fighting for justice. They're emphasizing the emotional toll the alleged harassment and retaliation have taken on her, and they're pushing back against Baldoni's claims that she's the one running a smear campaign. The outcome of this case will likely hinge on who the court finds more credible. If Baldoni can cast doubt on Blake's claims, he could win the case. But if Blake can prove that Baldoni's actions caused her significant harm, she could come out on top. This lawsuit isn't just about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. It's about the power dynamics in Hollywood and how far people are willing to go to protect their interests. It's a cautionary tale about the consequences of mixing personal branding with professional projects. And it raises important questions about accountability in the entertainment industry. The case also highlights the challenges of navigating public perception in the age of social media. Blake's missteps, like promoting her alcohol brand during interviews about a film dealing with domestic violence, have been amplified by the public, and they've become a key part of the legal battle. In today's world, every action is scrutinized, and the court of public opinion can be just as powerful as a court of law. For Blake Lively, this case is about more than just winning a lawsuit. It's about protecting her reputation and career. If she loses, it could have a lasting impact on her standing in Hollywood and her ability to secure future projects. But if she wins, it could set a precedent for holding powerful figures accountable for their actions. For Justin Baldoni, the stakes are equally high. A loss could damage his career and reputation, while a win could solidify his position in the industry and send a message that he won't be intimidated by Hollywood's elite. As the case heads to trial, all eyes are on Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Their legal battle has captivated the public, and the outcome could have far-reaching implications for Hollywood. But one thing is clear, this isn't just a lawsuit, it's a story about power, perception, and the price of fame. What do you think? Is Blake Lively the victim she claims to be? Or is this a case of Hollywood drama gone too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next update. The final chapter of this story is yet to be written, and you won't want to miss it.